$28 billion is often cited as the wealth of the British royal family. The figure is widely repeated, but it does not reflect personal ownership in the way it is commonly understood. The number includes assets that are not privately controlled. When examined more closely, the structure behind that valuation is more complex and more restricted than it appears. The large component is the Crown Estate as the 2023 to 2024 annual report. It is valued at approximately 15.6 billion pounds or about 19 to 20 billion dollars. In the 2022 to 2023 period, it generated 442.6 million pounds in profit. Despite its scale, the Crown Estate is not a private holding. According to the UK Treasury, it belongs to the monarchy to in right of the crown, meaning it is attached to the office rather than the individual. King Charles III cannot sell these assets, liquidate them, or pass them on as personal property. This arrangement dates back to 1760 when King George III transferred the estate income to Parliament in exchange for state funding. That framework remains in place. The modern mechanism for that funding is the sovereign grant. In the 2023 to 2024 period, it provided 86.3 million pounds to support official functions including staffing, maintenance and travel. The grant is typically set at about 25% of Crown Estate profit. As Crown Estate revenues increase, the grant rises accordingly. Recent growth has been driven in part by offshore wind energy agreements linked to ceded rights. Separate from institutional assets, the monarch also received income from private estates. The Duchy of Lancaster is valued at roughly 650 million pounds and produces around 20 to 25 million pounds annually. This income is used by the monarch in a private capacity. The Duchy of Cornwall, valued at about 1 billion pounds, generates a similar annual income of 20 to 25 million pounds. Since 2022, it has been controlled by Prince William. There are also privately owned properties including Sandringham House and Balmoral Castle. These estates were inherited personally and are distinct from crown holdings. Estimates from Forbes and the Sunday Times rich list place King Charles' personal wealth between 750 million and $1 billion are of 2024. These include investments, collections, and privately held assets. The higher figure of $28 billion combined institutional holdings such as the Crown Estate with personal wealth. This aggregation presents a total that is numerically accurate but does not distinguish between assets that can be privately used and those that cannot. Public debate reflects this distinction. Critics argue that taxpayers support an institution with significant resources and limited financial transparency. Supports maintain that the monarchy generates more revenue than it receives, citing tourism and the returns from crown estate operations. Financial disclosure remains partial while the monarchy began voluntarily. paying income tax in 1993. Private investments are not fully detailed. High profile properties such as Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle contribute to the perception of extensive personal wealth. However, these properties are held by the crown and are not privately owned by the monarch. The result is a system in which institutional and personal finance are closely associated in public perception despite being legally and functionally separate. Crown estate profit have continued to rise in recent years, and the Sandringham and the sovereign grant is expected to increase alongside them. King Charles has indicated a preference for a more streamlined monarchy, but the underlying financial structure remain unchanged. The distinction between individual asset and more personal wealth continues to shape how the monarchy finances are understood and how its total wealth is represented.